emergency video because the CEO and founder of Aptos has just stepped down to start a new chapter. What does this mean for Aptos token? What does this mean for you as an investor or holder of Aptos token? We're going to break down exactly what this means. We're going to look at the chart, which is of course a big mess right now, as are a lot of altcoins here on the pullback. But why did he step down? Does this mean something bad is going on at Aptos? Is there something underlying which we don't quite know? We're going to break that down. If you like this type of content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. You can see here Aptos co-founder and CEO Mo Shaikh stepped down to start a new chapter. Mo Shaikh, who co-founded the firm in 2021 alongside Avery Ching, said he would stay on the board as a strategic advisor. Straight off the bat, that's a positive sign, right? If there was any animosity, if there was any major disagreements which led to him stepping down, he would not be on the board as a strategic advisor. He would have just upped and left. So that's a good sign in that he's staying on. We're going to come on to his statement that he released on X shortly as well. But you have to remember, Avery Ching, who was also the co-founder, who was there from the start, has now stepped into the CEO role. Now, before we get into the headlines and read some of the comments from Mo Shaikh and journalists, etc., it's important to understand that there are different types of CEO. I know this from my experience with operating businesses. You have different CEOs who specialize at different points of a company. Okay, so we're going to come on to a statement from Mo Shaikh on his Twitter account. Let me show you that as well. You can see here. He goes, 3 years ago, Avery and I co-founded Aptos Lab with a simple but ambitious goal: to create a resilient and scalable foundation capable of creating fair and efficient products. Today, I'm incredibly proud of how far the team has come. Today, I am stepping away from Aptos Labs to start a new chapter. One of my true passions lies in building companies from the ground up, okay? And you'll find that this is very normal. This actually happens in the world of entrepreneurship, where you see that there are people who like to start stuff. This happened with me as well, that like to start stuff from ground up. But then when a company is a little bit more mature, things aren't quite the same. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. When you have a mature company, you have investors on the board. You have a lot of bureaucracy, right? You have a lot of governance. You have a lot of board meetings. You have compliance. The teams get bigger and there's departments and everything is really, really, structured. And for somebody whose brain is a little bit more chaotic, normally the entrepreneurs of the world who want to start something from scratch in their garage, they find that quite difficult. It's very rare that you find the likes of Zuckerberg, Musk, Bezos, who are that exceptional that not only do they start their company from scratch, they operate through it, going from a zero company, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, billion, up to trying to get to 1 trillion as well. Those CEOs are very, very rare because they're growing along with the company. But for many, it's quite normal to see this, where you grow a company from zero to whatever, and then you're just not getting that buzz anymore, and you want to do that again. Those are what you call these kind of like serial entrepreneurs, or they like being seed stage, they like operating at the angel stage. So I wouldn't sit here as an investor of Aptos and think this is some big indictment on Aptos, or it means something major is going wrong. That's just the reason I wanted to emphasize on that. It's quite a normal process. Now, had this statement not been as amicable, had this have been a statement of, we had some disagreements, or, I'm not getting on with the team, or I didn't like this recruit, I didn't like this, I didn't like what's going on with the investors, then that would be a different look, right? Then we have a problem, because you guys know whenever I have conviction in a project, it's about saying, okay, has anything changed, right? If the team are disagreeing, if two co-founders who started the company are disagreeing, then that is a problem. But we're not seeing that here. Everything he's saying here is thank you to the investors, right? I mean, look at this. The Aptos ecosystem continue for, let's just do the thank yous first. He says thank you to all of the investors: Dragonfly, Block Tower, Han Investments, Hashtag, Iron Gray, A16Z, Apollo, Coinbase, Parafy, Scribble, PayPal. Frankly, got a great base of investors, right? But look at this. The Aptos ecosystem continues to shine, driven by the incredible work of early builders that have become friends, like Merkle Trade, Thala Labs, Kid, Iconia, etc. The growth is further amplified by the support of partners like BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, MasterCard, Google, Microsoft, big names, right? And that's why a lot of people are so excited about Aptos and continue to be excited about Aptos, because this is the background of the individual. And I just want to, before I move on back onto the price action of the charts, I just want to leave on this note here, which is that I will always remain a champion of Aptos and its mission. As such, I will stay on a advisor on Aptos to look forward to seeing continue to help Aptos maintain its role. So I don't think this is a situation you want to look too much into as an Aptos community member. this is not, it doesn't come across as unamicable. It doesn't come across as destructive. He's not saying anything negative. I think this is just for him personally. And sometimes when you have a company of these kind of sizes, we have to accept that's how things go sometimes, right? People want to move on. People's life situations change, their ambitions change, and sometimes no longer align with where the company's going. And to all intents and purposes, as long as it's done in this kind of a manner, that's okay. The fact he's going to continue on as a strategic advisor is important. We don't know how much day-to-day involvement he even had, right? Of course, as a co-founder in Avery Ching as well, they will know. They will know how much Mo Shaikh was doing day-to-day, how important he was for partnerships. I'm sure even as a strategic advisor, you're still going to be using your connections, right? Because that's one of the things with Mo Shaikh, which a lot of people found as a huge strength was his background. His background at Meta, his background at Boston Consulting Group, his background at BlackRock allows him to bring good BD to Aptos. But I'm sure that will continue if he's a strategic advisor on the board. Now, of course, we're seeing price action here tumble a little bit. Yesterday's candle was down 3.8, but it's really today when the news came out, down another 11%. Now, would I take that, and panic right now? No. You got to understand, Bitcoin is down 4.4%, and we can look at that also here in today's chart. Bitcoin's breaking down from an important pattern, testing its daily EMA ribbon. Remember, that comes all the way down to 90,000. We could be in a position within the next 12 to 14 hours where we're losing this EMA ribbon. And potentially, going down for a lower pullback on the weekly chart. I shared that in yesterday's update. The weekly EMA ribbon on Bitcoin comes here at 80K. That would be a painful pullback, right? People will then be feeling it. I mean, if you take it from where we're at on Bitcoin, we've had a 14% pullback, and pulling back all the way to the EMA ribbon would be a totality of about 27%. This market would feel it. There's a lot of, new people entering the market, FOMOing in, buying above 90, and then suddenly if we're falling down to 80, a lot of those will be panic selling. There'll be a lot of liquidations. And we've already seen, over 1.1 billion. Let me see the latest figure. It was over 1.1 billion dollars in liquidations we saw in the last 24 hours, which was insane. There you go, 1.35 billion dollars of liquidations in the last 24 hours, mainly of people taking leverage longs, right? Greedy, trying to just assume Bitcoin's going to run to 150. I mean, who's taking leverage longs up at $108,000 on Bitcoin? I mean, I'll leave that to somebody else to figure that out. So coming back to Aptos, look, is this a project that's now in the dumpster? First and foremost, you could see it's at a decent price point. I mean, you're now sitting at price points which you saw in April earlier this year before Bitcoin did its thing. This is one of those that if I wanted to build a position, I'd be looking at it now. I think these are nice price points to be buying. You also saw this price point in May of 2023. I mean, this is an interesting opportunity here in terms of the price point because it's hard to catch it once it moves. That being said, it's important to understand the tokenomics. This is not meant to be a deep dive of tokenomics. If you want one for Aptos, let me know in the comments. I can probably spin that up for you. But you're sitting at a market cap of 5.6 billion. Fully diluted, you're looking at 11 billion, okay? And that is because not all of the coins are in circulating supply. About half of the total supply of Aptos is in circulating supply. So naturally, you're sitting there 11 billion market, it's sitting at 26 in coin market cap. Yes, it could go higher. I mean, you've got to understand, if it's just sitting at 5.6 billion, you've got the likes of XRP sitting at 113 billion, right? So you've got to inbuilt 20x if you want to get to XRP's valuation. Even if you're looking at Solana's valuation at 85, I mean, you got another 15x there as well. So there's a lot of potential if you believe Aptos is going to be one of these blue chips, right? Really get into the top 10, top 15 and stay there for multiple cycles. I think they've got the pedigree to do it, right? I think they've got the partnerships to do it. They've got the investors to do it. They've had a good start, but now they've got to graduate into that upper echelon. This bull market, they've got to be one of those that get into the top 10. And then it's not even about just being there. It's about staying there multiple cycles and being one of the leading platforms, which I still think, they've got some work to do before they get there. Of course, with Mo Shaikh stepping down as well, that will be a bit of a shock for the community. It will be a shock for the team. They're going to have to, plug on. I mean, it's not an ideal time for it to happen as well during this exciting time of the market. But I guess there was no perfect time for this, and nor does, someone like Mo Shaikh sit there pondering it. When it's right for him to step back, he's gone and done that. So there you go, guys. There's the update on Mo Shaikh, the CEO of Aptos, stepping down. Let me know in the comments what you think about this situation. Let me know what you think about the markets more broadly. I mean, of course, we're sitting here in a sea of red here on Bitcoin. Can be painful, can be unnerving. I know a lot of people who are new to crypto will sit here looking at this, weekly candle, maybe panicking a little bit, getting a little bit nervous. Let me know in the comments, what are you feeling? If you actively want to trade with me, you can do so using the link in the description. Make sure you check that out to our Telegram community where I share my altcoin trades. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.